Welcome everybody to the PK Sportscast. I'm your boy John, aka that PK boy, here with the whole squad today. Got Knock, Mango, and Caleb. How y'all doing, man?
Amazing.
It's good to be here,
I'm
man.
sure.
I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm sure Knock's feeling pretty good, man. Want to apologize to all the viewers for the hiatus. Had holidays and just some really good football going on. So we'll try to cover everything that we missed. But I'm going to go ahead and just start by saying the regular season is over, ending our two early predictions competition. And the final results are in. So after the last few weeks, it ended up, as you all could assume, Knock took first place. He had 72 points, finished strong there. Week 17, he came through with another perfect score. I came in second place with 65. Marengo came in third with 54.5, and Caleb had 49.5. Knock, congratulations. We'll get a trophy to you here pretty soon. We can show it off on one of our podcasts later on. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I mean, I foretold that this was going to happen, as I've foretold so many things this year. Look, guys, first of all, I want to thank you for including me and letting the old man tag along with you young bucks and participate in your two early predictions. Thank you very much for having me on the show as much as you have. I appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. I know a lot of luck went into this win, and so that's probably the most humble thing I'm going to say moving forward. Now, with that said, I whooped y'all ass from fucking the beginning of the season to the end. I never wasn't in first. I had a couple of perfect scores picked, including a 31-3 Week 17 beatdown in Jacksonville. There was a lot of luck too, but yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. I was excited to see the Cowboys ended up doing so well this year. You guys gave me shit early in the season when I said they'd win the Super Bowl, and I realized after looking at it, some of you guys actually had them making the playoffs as well. So I will give you some credit. You guys were definitely not in the dark about the Cowboys, but man, they looked good. The Packers, I fucking told y'all the Packers were not going to make the playoffs. I told you. And I know the Lions didn't make the playoffs, but they barely didn't make it, and they beat the Packers the last week of the season. So I think that gives me the edge. That gives me the edge on that whole argument right there, because the Packers didn't make the playoffs, and the Lions finished with a whooping their ass head-to-head last week of the season. Aaron Rodgers wouldn't switch jerseys because the man is done. He's done. He knows he's done. He's going to retire unless they bring a ginormous bag out in a lot of years and guaranteed money. I just don't see him playing next year. So, I was excited to see things kind of end up the way that I thought it would, straight up. With that being said, Marengo, third place, you gave it a run. Do you have anything you want to take from that's positive, that third place?
I would like to thank me for believing in me, because I really got myself to this point. No, man, it was fun, man. I'm glad we got to do it, and no matter how it played out, I may have come in third place, but out of the 14 teams in the playoffs, I got 10 of them right. And I only got screwed over on Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers took a dump this year. The Rams, who really would have saw that much of a fall off, And Tennessee and Indianapolis, I think anybody that watches football thought both of those teams were going to be half-ass decent. Indianapolis was supposed to be one of the best teams in the AFC this year. So I'm not trying to make excuses, but those four teams definitely didn't help out my cause. But like I said, I had a lot of fun. Coming in third place kind of sucks, but congrats, Knock. We'll get you that trophy. Caleb, my boy, last place.
You know what, man? And excuse my language, but fuck y'all standards. You know why? Because the Chiefs ended up first in the AFC. Chiefs ended up first in the AFC. John, you picked Indianapolis. I know you're upset that they shit the bed. So you know what? But that's fuck y'all predictions. I don't care.
At least they're not my second team in real life.
Hey, you know what? That's cold. Knock. You know what? You're gonna finish last place next year. Don't worry about it. It's last place. I'm already seeing it. You were first all year. I'm coming for the number 1 spot next year. Don't you worry,
Caleb.
about it.
As long as you keep picking teams to win 48-43, then you're never gonna have a chance.
And that's exactly what I was about to say. I had too much faith in people's offenses this year. I was like, you know what? It's gonna be a breakout scoring season, and you know what? It came back and bit me in the ass. So you know what? I had a few cool picks in there too. You know what? Fuck y'all's picks. The Chiefs are number 1 in the AFC. That's what I was really worried about. So at the end of the day, that's what makes me happy.
That's not bad. That's not bad. Way to do it with class. Silver feels good though. I'm just saying 3 out of 4 of us are getting something. But no, for real, it was an awesome season. Had a lot of crazy stats in there. Lot of crazy things, man. But no, at the end of the day, Knock led from day one. You can't really take away from that one. And I think it shows also with some of the standings we're going to get to as well. If I had a regret, though, with what I had, I think I would have won this season if I didn't have faith in Indianapolis. You're right. That screwed me so much week after week after week. I'm just getting the Indianapolis games wrong, getting the Rams games wrong. It was terrible. But I'm going to dive into some of the fun little accolades from the season. Just this is kind of like our MVP award and stuff, right? So, had the season been what we thought about doing with the game, I'm glad we didn't, which was just who could guess the most winning teams. That one would have went a little bit differently. I would have taken that gold. Would have had 160. I had 168 correctly guessed games. Caleb, you would have had a silver trophy, dude. You had 161 games guessed correctly, but you only had 49 points.
Ooh, that stinks.
106. That's 20 left. Yeah, and honestly, you would have had 44.5 because you had a perfect score in there. So you're getting 25% of the games you guessed correct. You were getting a 0.4. That's rough. That's kind of like, yeah. I ain't even gonna go in. I ain't gonna go in on a team yet. Knock would have had 158, and Marengo would have got last with 153. The weirdest stat I think here is excluding week 16, all of the odd number weeks this year, the person who guessed the most correct teams got the most points. But on all the even ones, again, excluding week 16, where Caleb got his perfect score, the person who had the most correct teams did not win the week. It was just weird that it was odds and evens. It just went back and forth all season with that. The highest scoring week this season goes to Caleb, actually, even though he was in last place. Week 16, he had 14 out of 16 games guessed correctly, and he got 9.5 points out of it. So congratulations there. At least he had a very high scoring week there. Knock won. He had the most perfect games. He had 2 of them. Me and Caleb had 1. Marengo, better luck next season.
You mean to tell me?
And then he laughed.
You mean to tell me I dropped 9.5 points in 1 week and I still didn't break 50 for the season?
No. Thank you for saying that.
I didn't even think about it.
I've been taking it really easy on you, bro, on you guys, man, because you guys. Oh my god.
Oh man, I deserve
bad.
that. No,
that's bad.
I deserve that.
And there's 18 weeks. There's 18 because there's a bye week and there's 17 games now. So there's 18 weeks, and in one of the 18, you got 9.5, and you still didn't get to 50. So there's 17 more weeks worth of points. There's to get 40.
Y'all gotta chill.
That's so messed up. Oh god.
Man, I'll take some pressure off you, Caleb.
So
the only 0 week this entire season. I'll take it. I got the only 0 this week. fat goose egg week 5. What's messed up about that? Here's the funniest part of this whole thing. Week 5, I had 10 out of 13 games guessed correctly. I got 0 fucking points.
And you know what?
In week 5, all 4 of us had 10 or more games guessed correctly, though. That's why I got 0. And Marengo won that week with 12 correct teams and 8 points. It was
nice.
Just a crazy season, man. But overall, man, Knock was just killing it, man. He was coming in with a lot of big weeks. You know, Caleb had the biggest, but Knock had what I'm looking at it. He had 3 weeks over 7 points this season. Only person to do that. You know, that it's hard to keep up with that, man. I mean, like Caleb, you would have to get 9.5 like 2 times to do. All right, no, sure.
No, bro. I had a week with 9.5. You had a week that you did not score, and you still beat me by 15.
Hold on, 15.5.
Well, in your defense, though, but that's not fair because you had a lot of 1-point weeks, Caleb. So then that's.
Marengo had the second worst week. Marengo was the only person who had a 0.5 week, but he didn't have 0.
Hey, so
right.
it wasn't 0. It wasn't 0. I was on the board.
So no, congrats, guys, man. It was a super fun season, man. And you know, as far as this goes, I can't wait to do it again next season. That was a ton of fun. I want to jump over to some of our standings before we go to some actual football talk. So looking at the standings here, I want to say that Knock definitely got the edge on this one. Marengo was close, though, even though he was third place. So, you know, I'll go from the bottom to the top. I really didn't do very well with the standings. I had some divisional records guessed correctly. We all kind of had Cincy and Buffalo picked just because we all know they only played 16 games, so it was a little off. So I had Buffalo 13-4, Cincy 12-5, so kind of there. And then Washington, I had 8-9. They went 8-1. So technically, I didn't really get anybody. So if you want to throw another 0 my way, I'll take it. Caleb came in second. He's the only person to have Kansas City guessed all the way through. He had Kansas City 14-3, sweeping the division and number 1 seed in the AFC. So good job for last place there, Caleb. He also was able to get 6 different teams with the correct record at the end of the season. So that's really good as well. He had Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Dallas, Atlanta, and Kansas City. So good job there. Marengo, you had 4. You had Buffalo, Houston, Atlanta, and Carolina. You know you're Atlanta. I got to give you that. You've been rooting them all season, and you still knew they were going to go 7-10. And then Knock slayed it because he just knew what the AFC or the NFC North was going to look like. Knock had 7 different teams with the record correct. You know, again with the asterisk on Buffalo, but he had Miami at 9-8, 3-3. In the division, so that was exact. He had the Chiefs. You had Minnesota 13-4, Detroit 9-8, Green Bay 8-9. That came down to Week 18 where you had Detroit winning that game too, and you were the only person to have Detroit winning that game. And then he also guessed Philadelphia at 14-3, but he had Tampa Bay in the 1 seed at 15-2, which Tampa screwed all of us. So can't really diss him for that. Knock also had the most correctly seeded playoff teams. He had Kansas City at the 1 seed, Buffalo at the 2 seed, and Chargers coming in 5. And he also was the only one with NFC teams correct at all. He had 3 seed Minnesota and 5 seed Dallas. So you know you're Dallas too, apparently.
Little luck.
Oh yeah. Marengo, he had the most teams, like he mentioned. He had 10 out of 14 playoff teams guessed correctly. He had Kansas City, Buffalo, Baltimore, everyone but Indianapolis, Tennessee, Green Bay, and the Rams. The 4 most disappointing teams of the season. Can't knock him for that. So, and he's the only one who had San Francisco even making the playoffs. So kudos to you there, buddy. Caleb, you and I don't really have much to talk about. I would say I guess Caleb's got a decent one. He had 6 and 7 seed correct in the AFC, and you also had Seattle not being like 2-15 like the rest of us have. So, so that was pretty good. But no, overall, really good job, guys. I'm surprised at how accurate we actually you guys ended up being at the end of the season. So kudos to you guys there, man. That's awesome. But before we move on to the playoff games, I just want to give some shit to some people out here. I got a lot of shit for Indianapolis this season, and I just want to say that they broke everybody's seedings. They were in everybody's thing. Outside of Knock, Green Bay screwed everybody. Tampa Bay screwed everybody. The Rams screwed everybody. Who was it that I was looking at just now? One of you had one that had me just baffled that you. Oh, that's right. It was all of you. I told you at the beginning of the season, Tennessee was not making the playoffs. Didn't I tell you all that?
No, you didn't.
Didn't we say Indianapolis shouldn't be your 1 seed?
I said that after week 3. I think I said that after week 3.
You wrote it till week 3.
But I will say this: you guys rode Tennessee all the way till fucking yesterday, so I don't want to hear it. You guys said Tennessee, Tennessee. I didn't know it was going to be Jacksonville, but that's almost more embarrassing than Indy, to be honest with you. So, congrats.
At least they had a shot to make the playoffs.
So, first game this Saturday is the Seahawks and the 49ers. No. Yeah, on that one, I'm going to take the pressure off me. We're going to move over. Seahawks, 49ers meet up this week. I want to throw this one to Caleb first because he's the only one who had faith in the Seattle Seahawks this entire time. Caleb, do you think that Geno can continue he's already the highest passer in Seattle history over Russell Wilson? Do you think he can now take him on a playoff run?
No, just as Knock laughed there. No, I don't think there's any chance. Listen, it's a cool story for football because we, like most people, I think they were really supposed to maybe even be a rebuild team this year. And, that just wasn't the case. And, it was cool to see everybody thought Russell Wilson coming to Denver was going to shake up the entire league, which it very well, I think, should have. And then to see Seattle just kind of, take Geno Smith and they end up having a much better season than Denver ever could have even dreamed of doing based on how they did. Beautiful for Seattle. No. That being said, I don't think if I had to put money on it, man, I think San Francisco is going to steamroll over Seattle. As much as it pains me to say that, I was really proud that them boys up in the Northwest were able to pull together a special season. But yeah, I think their season's going to be done after their meetup with San Francisco here coming up.
Marengo, you've been big on San Francisco all season, man. What do you think is going to happen? You probably think Seattle's going to win, right?
I do agree with Caleb. I think San Francisco is definitely gonna move on. I don't think they're gonna put a whooping on Seattle. I'd say it'd be a 10-point game. It'd be a pretty close game. I think Seattle has worked their tail off all year long. San Francisco's got a hell of a football team. If they show up and show out, and Seattle's turning the ball over, it could be a blowout.
Yeah,
but
it's gonna be a long day.
If Seattle shows up and plays the football that they have played all year long, it could easily be a 10-point game. But yeah, I got San Francisco pulling this one out, man.
Nice. Knock, I'm assuming you're going the same route?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I'm going to tell you right now, you boys are missing out on the big picture, okay? You are writing Geno Smith off, and I'm telling you right now, you should have learned when he told you early in the season. He's not going to write your ass back. Okay, look, check it out. Seattle, I said they were dog water. I said they were trash. I know. It's well documented. I had to eat my words. But I'm telling you, these guys are the real deal. They're getting better and better every single week. If you go back and look, 5 out of the last 6 losses in the season, which they've only lost like 7 games, were one-score games. Outside of that, it was the game against Kansas City. Okay, the first loss they had in the season was against the Niners. They lost 27-7. They lost again against the Niners late in the season, 21-13. Okay, they're reeling them in. They're reeling them in, and I'll tell you right now, there's a lot. Purdy doesn't have the same experience in this league as Geno Smith. In the playoffs, you want to go with an experienced quarterback. I have a feeling that, and we all know how hard it is to beat a team 3 times in the same season, right? We know how we've all heard that. I just think it's stacking up to where Seattle has a shot. Okay, I think Seattle definitely has a chance. I don't know what the line is on the game. What's the line?
Probably -10, right? It is. It's San Francisco by 10.
Yeah, I mean, I might take Seattle plus 10. So uh, I don't feel super strongly about it. I'm not saying rush out to the bookie and place your bet, but I will say that I could definitely see a situation where Seattle wins this game, or at least makes it a field goal game or an overtime score, for sure, overtime type game.
Yeah, I think it could be competitive, but man, there's no way. I get you. You want the experience in the playoffs. I got you. Brock Purdy doesn't have that experience, but every other dude on that team does. Every other dude on that team has the playoff experience because every one of them, 90% of them at least, went to the Super Bowl with that team. So they're going to pick him up. They're going to coach him up. He might be a deer in headlights for a couple minutes in the first quarter. I think he's going to lead that team, man. I just don't see a situation where the Seahawks pull it out. I do agree that it's going to be competitive, but they're going to close it away in the fourth quarter. It's got to be at least a 10-point game.
Yeah, I mean, I think the running game for Seattle has me concerned. Mm-hmm. They have me concerned in the running game. If they can't run the ball, then they're going to have a tough time. Yeah. But if they had a strong running game, I would definitely be going with Seattle in this one. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. The Niners are definitely a solid. They're a better coach team. They're resilient. They have more talent. But I don't know if we can trust that quarterback. We're going to see.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think San Fran's going to take this, but I don't think they're going all the way. We'll see who they see next round. All right. The other Saturday game we got is Chargers-Jags. That might be one of the least lopsided games in this playoff wildcard round, at least. Knock, I want to throw this one at you, man. What do you think?
I just don't believe in the Chargers in the playoffs. I got to go Jags. This is why the Jags have won their last 5 games. They're hot. When you're going into the playoffs in the NFL, you want to go in hot, and that's exactly the team that's probably the hottest in the AFC, right there with Kansas City. So, I think they really have a shot to move forward in this. I've got to take Jacksonville. The Chargers have a long history of just letting everyone down in the playoffs and being poor performers with a lot of talent in the playoffs. So I don't expect that to change right now. I think I heard that Mike Williams is also out. They've got a lot of injuries at the wide receiver position. They got a lot of injuries, period. I just don't trust the Chargers in this situation. Give me the Jacksonville Jags.
I completely agree with that. That is probably one of the best takes that you've had the entire season, even though you won the whole game. But that is probably one of the best takes you've had the whole season.
Been right about it so much.
To be honest with you.
That's the best one. Thank you for that.
You've been right, but just calm down.
Thank you for that.
The Jags.
I feel like
the Jags. What? Go ahead. Go ahead, PK.
I was going to say, I feel like Knock has to ride with Jacksonville after the 31-3 perfect score guessing. I mean, you got to just be rooting for him now, right?
Yeah, but I mean, if you're not rooting for Jacksonville, man, I mean, are you really a football fan? I mean, come on. Right. I mean, unless you're just unless you're just a rival of Jacksonville, you're rooting for the Jaguars in this game. You want them to get at least one dub in the playoffs. I just looked it up. They've got 3 playoff wins since 2000. They're hungry. They got this new young team. They want to get the experience, man. I'm right there with you now. Give me Jacksonville. I like Justin Herbert. I think he can make it a competitive game. The Chargers got the guys to do it. Austin Eckler's a freaking monster on the ground. So if he gets a big day, it could be a close game. But Give me the Jags, man. They're going to get at least one dub in the playoffs. They got to.
You know, and I look so pissed off over here just because Knock whooped my ass throughout the season, and yet another take where I have to agree with him. Listen, like you said, Jacksonville come in. They're hottest team in the AFC. They're playing their best football right at the right time, and the Chargers with their history of just not being good, especially in the postseason. I think this is definitely going to go Jacksonville's way. I think Lawrence is a year ahead of schedule. I didn't see him pulling out this kind of. I know. I thought maybe this was a year too early before I was really going to start putting him in this position where he was able to lead a team into the playoffs. But good for Jacksonville. They're balling right now. So I think it's going to be a competitive game, but I think the Chargers might lead late. I just don't know if they're going to come out on top.
I really wish I could agree with you guys because I'm rooting for Jacksonville. But guys, I don't know, man. Jacksonville put a ass whooping on the Chargers earlier this season. I remember coming on here and talking big shit about it because we didn't know Jacksonville was going to be decent. At that time, it was a little like early mid-season. And I think the Chargers remember that shit. And I think that they want to change their narrative. I don't know if they'll be able to. I know Bosa and Williams are questionable to come out this week. So I think if those two don't play, then yeah, they're going to have a hard time. But I don't know, man. I have a gut feeling that the Chiefs are going to see the Chargers next week. That's how I feel about it. And so they got to get through Jacksonville. So I'm going to say I think the Chargers are going to pull through. But I'm rooting for Jacksonville all the way. I hope they beat them worse than they did the first time.
It's going to be a great story.
Say what now?
I said Doug Peterson will definitely have that team ready.
I was going to say the same thing. It's going to be a great story when Doug Peterson comes into Kansas City and gets his ass whooped again like they did earlier this season. But to pay homage to Andy Reid, Doug Peterson was able to – he was in Kansas City for a long time. He was a quarterback coach and then as offensive coordinator, assistant coach of the team, got the job with the Eagles, won a Super Bowl there off the Andy Reid coaching tree. Kind of had a falling out, if you will, because anyone that touches Wentz loses their job. So he kind of got caught up into that shit. And so now he's made his way, finally got back into a head coaching position. In 1 year, Urban Meyer did nothing with this team. Urban Meyer ran this team into the ground. And then you give him 1 year. They started off a little rocky, and Jacksonville is now hot and in the playoffs. And yeah, the Chargers should beat them. If I was a betting man, I don't know. But my gut just tells me Jacksonville's going to be able to pull it off.
Yeah. Sounds like Doug was able to keep his mind off them Florida hoes. That's what happened.
I was just going to say that.
We all know what happened with Urban Meyer.
Hey, it's the same thing that happened to Tom. You see Tom went to Tampa. Man, it turned his whole life upside down. He been chasing that young ass, boy.
Hey, at least he won a Super Bowl first, though, because man, Urban Meyer said, man,
he didn't give a damn about
enjoy my time. That's all right, man. I'm gonna move on because I'm gonna just start getting canceled over here. A big game this week I'm really excited to watch, man, is the the Dolphins Bills. That's gonna be a huge game. We all watched they split the season this year. Miami was really close to getting them the second time too. I think it's gonna be a good game. It's just Tua's not supposed to play. I'm not really sure. Marengo, how you feel about that game?
The only way this game is close is if Tua plays. That's the only way. They got a good defense, but not enough to stop Buffalo. Man, and if they don't have an offense to keep up with them, it's not going to happen.
You don't think your boy from K-State's going to do it?
Listen, I was just getting to that because I love Skylar Thompson to death. He did so much for K-State. He's a hell of a quarterback, but he cannot lead that team into the playoffs and damn sure can't go into Buffalo and bring a win back. It's not going to happen. So, I'm sorry, but if Skylar's starting, I got Buffalo by, I'd almost say 20, man. It's going to be a lot.
I've seen Tyreek Hill close out the Bills with a slant route before, though.
But you got to have somebody to throw him the ball.
365
You got to have somebody to throw him the ball. And as much as I love Skyler, I haven't seen him throw a good ball over 20 yards. I don't know what to say.
Damn.
You know, I want him to be successful, but it's not going to happen this year.
Damn. So what if Tua does play? If Tua does play, what do you think?
It's a closer game, but I still take Buffalo by 10.
By 10, damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Caleb, what do you think?
They're playing in Buffalo.
Listen, the line is -9.5. I'm thinking it's going to be double that. If Tua's not playing, I just don't see a situation where this game was even remotely close. You know, they have Tyreek, but as Mango just said, you gotta have somebody throw Tyreek the ball. I don't see a situation. I'm surprised the line isn't, even worse than what it is. 9.5. This game isn't even going to be close. I could see this being like a 27-point game.
And you saw what happened when he wore that "I wish it was colder" shirt last time. He got his ass beat. Like, come on,
got his ass whooped. This is not going to be a competitive game at all. Especially even if Tua was playing, I still wouldn't have this being too much of a competitive game at all. I'm sorry, it's not.
Knock, would you like to continue before I go off on these guys?
Are we just going to continue roasting the Dolphins?
I'm just sitting here wondering, did the Dolphins beat the Bills earlier this season?
Fuck yeah, they did. They had Josh Allen crying on Tua's shoulder like this.
Yeah, but Tua was playing. He was throwing
Tua going to play?
Well, this is the thing.
He'll be on the sideline so that Josh Allen can rest right here after the game's over.
You guys just said, even if Tua played, you got him by 10. Okay,
yeah, you're right.
That's
okay,
what y'all
continue.
So I'm just saying, like, okay, why are we acting like it's just out of this world for the Bills to lose to the Dolphins? A, the Dolphins have already beat them this year. B, the Bills find ways to lose in the playoffs. So I think it's possible. Tyreek finds ways to win in the playoffs, and Tyreek is powerful. That's a powerful, like. Tyreek is that dude. I mean, he's probably the most influential offensive player that's not a quarterback. And so that's pretty crazy, So with that being said, I don't count him out if Tua's in it. If Tua doesn't play, though, I have to agree with these guys. I just don't think that Miami's going to stand a chance. I don't think that you're going to be able to accurately get the ball to playmakers. As earlier described. So I would have to agree. Miami definitely has no shot without Tua. I don't think Tua should play. He's had crazy concussions all season, but I've seen crazier things happen in the NFL. So if Tua does play, though, I give it a 50-50 shot. Miami could win.
They're division rivals, and like Knock brought up earlier, this will be the third time they've played this season. It's a tiebreaker. If Tua doesn't play, sure. Do I think Miami's going to win? Not necessarily. I think a lot of people might lose their money on that spread, but because I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. I think the Bills are thinking they're going to skate through if Skylar Thompson's playing, and I think that Skylar Thompson's going to want to show that he's got some skill. Tyreek, again, like Knock said, he's a very dynamic player. Off the top of my head, I can think of 2 games that he has pulled the team out of the trenches. One of them was in the Super Bowl with the Jet Chip Wasp. We all know about that. And the second one was against the Bills last year on a slant route where he was 10 yards behind a defender and put the piece up and still ran by his ass. So can Skylar Thompson throw 7 yards? Then shit, Tyreek maybe can do something. They also got Jalen Waddle, which we can't act like he's not non-existent. Right. Raheem Mostert's having one of the best years he's had since he was in San Francisco. So they've got a team. Do I think they need Tua to win? Maybe not need, preferably for sure. I think they got a chance though. I think they can come out there and smack Buffalo in the mouth. But if I was putting my money on a money line, I'm probably going to go Buffalo too. But not by 10. Not by 10. I got them by 3.
Crazy.
You're crazy. You are crazy as hell. You said by 3?
If Tua plays by 3, if Skylar plays by 7.
Even if Tua, Oh, come on now. They're playing in Buffalo, dude. You know how much
I
snow
don't give a damn.
Come on now, man.
Dude.
Come
Yeah, I'm with
on.
Marengo on
Tua's
this
not
one,
going to be
though.
able to see over the damn snow. Come on. Come on.
Listen, all right. You know
You're
what?
crazy. You're not going to give me 10 points. You're not going to give me 10 points.
You
with
said
Buffalo.
by 3.
Come
You
on.
also thought Indianapolis.
We've been talking all year how hungry these boys are. We don't even need to talk about the incident that happened just a couple weeks ago. That makes them even hungrier. These boys are going in for a chip. They're not going to make it there, but they're damn sure going to get past Miami. They're damn sure going to get past Miami. I don't give a damn.
Miami
this
won
is
the first
playoffs.
game, and they won the first game, and they lost the second game by 3 in Buffalo in December. So
I don't give a damn.
I don't think it's
These
crazy.
two teams
it's not
are
crazy.
astronomically different at that point, though.
They've played twice. They've played twice this season, and neither of the 2 matchups were decided by 10 points. Right?
Okay. You're correct.
Right.
And Tua was playing in both of those games, but he's not going to play this week. And even if he was playing this week, we're talking about the damn playoffs. And the Bills are hungry to go to the chip.
Yeah,
I don't give a damn. They're not
guys,
going to let up, and it's going to be at least a 10-point game over Miami.
All of us know what happens to the Bills in the playoffs. They're like the Denver Nuggets. They're regular season MVPs, all right?
Okay.
I foresee it.
Okay.
This isn't the same team, bro.
You're wrong.
I'm just saying, bro. Put your money on the spread, and we'll talk about next week how you lost that money. Anyways, I'm going to go to the next score, or the next game here.
Ooh.
Wow. This one's going to be spicy, too. Okay.
Giants, Vikings. Man, Knock, I'm going to throw this one to you, man. What you think? Giants, Vikings.
Well, it all depends. Are we going to get, iced out Kirk Cousins? Or are we going to get a different Kirk Cousins? The Kirk Cousins that no one ever wants to give a long-term deal to. The Kirk Cousins that we wonder, what in the hell were you looking at when you threw that ball? The Kirk Cousins who is the only player arguably slower than Tom Brady himself. You know what I'm saying? Like that Kirk Cousins, that's the question. Are we getting I'm going to find Jefferson for 15 catches, Kirk Cousins, or the one we've been getting the last couple of weeks where Jefferson gets 3 fucking attempts thrown at him, right? So I think it really hinges on the play of Kirk Cousins. Look, Minnesota is really good. I knew they'd be good all season. They didn't disappoint. They are expected to win this game, but look, it's playoffs, and the Giants, they run the ball and they play defense. And that's what you have to do in the playoffs. So I give me Minnesota all day. I take Minnesota. I feel pretty good about it. But Kirk Cousins has to play well. He cannot have 172 yards and 2 interceptions.
I completely
Caleb,
agree.
what you scratching into your desk over there, bud?
Is that your desk or your nuts?
Didn't.
Damn.
You know what? I'm going to take the Vikings, but that I still have zero faith in Kirk Cousins. All right, listen, we're talking about a guy who not just said nobody wants to give a long-term contract to. We're talking about the guy that Marengo at first did not want to go for, and then switched up real quick and decided, oh yeah, Kirk Cousins, I'll take Kirk Cousins. No,
and then got screwed.
Marengo ruined the Vikings when he's decided he was teaming up with Kirk Cousins with me that day. Everything changed.
No.
You sat there and begged both of us.
especially in...
No, I didn't beg. I convinced successfully. I have a trailer that proves it.
Convinced who?
Him.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about me.
No, but I'll tell you what though. I'll tell you what though. Because we're talking about the Giants, Vikings, you should be convinced that New York football should exist.
You know what? I am convinced, and I'll eat crow on that too. It's well documented that I had said New York football should not exist, and you know what? I was completely wrong on that because that was. I don't know why y'all bringing up old shit. Anyway,
Saquon heard you.
Hey, you know what? That's old shit. Anyway, I would love to see the Giants win this game. I don't know. we say we don't know what Kirk Cousins we're going to get. We know damn well what Kirk Cousins we're going to get. We're going to get the one that's going to go throw 3 interceptions, whatever. That's the playoff performer he is. I want to see the Giants win, but unfortunately I see the Vikings winning like 14-10, something of that nature. That's just how I see it. Yeah, it's going to be a low scoring game, I believe. Yeah, it's going to be a low scoring game.
14-10. Damn.
No. I'm actually no, not at all.
Okay. What's your final score prediction, Margo?
The Giants are going to win, and I'm going to tell you why. Because 2 weeks ago, in December 24th, they played the Vikings and lost by 3. This Giants team remembers that game, and this Giants team is fucking hungry. Excuse my language. Saquon Barkley hasn't done a damn thing with that team since he's gotten there. He's in the playoffs. He's got a chance to get a dub. He's going to go off in this game. Danny Dimes, he's not going to make any mistakes. And I tell you what Kirk Cousins is going to do. He's going to make the mistakes. And that Giants defense is going to do what they did when they went to the Super Bowl 20 fucking years ago with Eli Manning. They're not going to the Super Bowl. Don't get ahead of me. I saw that look. I saw that look. That's not what I'm saying. But they're going to do what they do. They're going to capitalize on mistakes because that's what the Giants defense has continued to do for the past few weeks. Now, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins at all. He has put a bad taste in my mouth after me doing that bullshit dance on this podcast with you, PK. I'm over it. I don't believe in Kirk Thuggins ever again, and I will never, ever, 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 ever support a team that gives him a long-term deal if they ever do.
The longest term deal that man will ever get is a franchise tag.
But yeah, man, I'm going to take the Giants. I do think it's going to be a close game. I think this has the makings to be an overtime game. I do think it's going to be a weird score. Give me like 23-20.
14-10.
No. I'll tell you.
No. Give me 23-13 Minnesota.
Okay, hold up. I need to be writing these down. I'm going to do that in post-production. But I'll tell you what, because I'm holding all you bitches accountable next week. So Giants, Vikings. I'll tell you guys what. I've been on this show doing the dance, doing all this stuff. But the Giants are going to win this game. I think that this is going to be one of the only upsets this week. Right now, the spread is Minnesota by 3, and I just don't see it. We know what, like Marengo says, we know what Kirk Thuggins does once it comes playoff time. They've had a great season, don't get me wrong. I'm sure Justin Jefferson is going to go for 140 yards in a tutty still. But that Giants defense is real. Minnesota's defense is subpar. They they were down 30-0 to the Colts at one point. I know they came back and won, but it was the fucking Colts. And I know Caleb's about to say something about me having them as the 1 seed, but I didn't think they was going to have a high school coach. All right. So I think that the Giants, they got a run game. They got a defense. That's what it takes to win a playoff game. And, we've been seeing in this back half of the season the Vikings falling off and taking some horrendous losses and that defense giving up a lot of ass. I'm not confident in it. If they do make it past this round, it won't be very long-lived. They'll go out in the divisional, but I think Giants might even cause the upset and face Philly next week. And my score on that, I'm going to go 27-9, Mini. 27-9 New York. Sorry, 9 for Minnesota. They won't even.
Oh, you had it right the first time.
Hey, we'll see next week, man. 27-9. Giants going all the way. Divisional matchup in the divisional for the Giants and Eagles. Man, this is going to be a good one. We got Bengals hosting the Ravens. And I have to mention, I'm the only one who guessed a playoff game. All you guys had the Chiefs on a bye week, so that's technically a win. But I'm the only one who guessed an actual playoff game with the way the seedings worked out. I guessed that this game was going to happen. And I said Baltimore was going to win in my prediction. But now that we know Lamar's not playing, I got to go with Cincy by 17. But with that said, Caleb, I'm gonna throw this one to you first, man.
Yeah, this is. I think this is the game. I was talking shit about a little bit ago that Baltimore was going to end up winning this game by 15, 20 or so, and that's just not going to happen. Especially Lamar's not playing. This isn't. I don't see anywhere. Like I'm looking at ESPN's matchup predictor. I mean, they have Cincinnati with a almost 73% chance of winning. So I don't think this is going to be a close game at all.
It's only a 7-point spread, which is crazy.
That's what I was just looking at. It's a 7-point spread. The over under is 42. I just don't see. I don't see in any way, shape, or form how this is going to be a close game. Give me Cincinnati by 21.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Listen, Baltimore, for some reason, just is not a good football team. I don't know what
and they
is
should
going
be.
on. I don't know what's going on. Even minus Lamar, with Lamar's injury, they should be a good football team. We've seen glimpses of Tyler Huntley being that guy, but he has not been that guy since he came in. He has not. It has looked horrid. That offense has looked terrible. We talk shit about that defense. Oh my God, that offense has been abysmal since Lamar left. Shout out Baltimore. You should probably give Lamar a deal. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. You should probably give the man some money. That being said, Bengals win this easy, man. They're probably going to pull Joe Burrow out in the third quarter. I agree with Caleb. It's going to be at least a 20-point game.
I don't know, guys. Look, Harbaugh, playoffs. You know, I tend to agree with you. They're going to go as Lamar goes. I've said it all year. The Baltimore defense is sometimes as hell, and you can't be that type of defense in the playoffs. That's my only concern for teams like Kansas City or even Buffalo. Is you have to have a consistent defense. So for that reason, I would have to agree. The Bengals probably have this on lock. I go Bengals by 10, because Tyler Huntley just is not going to do anything in the playoffs. I think, but it's obvious that Baltimore backed in to the playoffs, and so they're going to be one and done this time.
Yeah, I don't think there's much more to say on that other than what Marengo said, which is you guys should probably sign Lamar when you can, because if he ends up going to a different team,
you might as well fire the whole coaching staff if he leaves.
It could really mess up the whole league, man. Could mess up the whole league. All right, last playoff game Monday night. We got a rematch of the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Last time they played was Week 1, and we know how that went. So. Knock, I'm going to throw this one to you first, man, because I know you've been big on the Cowboys all season. What do you think's going to happen?
Look, Cowboys about to whoop that ass, okay? I'm sick and tired of people talking crap about the Cowboys like, they're just they're not going to do anything in the playoffs. They're not going to do anything in the playoffs. Well, before you're saying they don't go to the playoffs, they don't go to the playoffs. Look, I'm done with that. Tampa Bay looks like shit. They have been garbage the entire second half of the season. They are also backing in. Look, they look as bad as Baltimore, and they have their quarterback. It just is not a good look. You don't know what type of team you're going to see in Tampa Bay. They just lost to Atlanta. For Christ's sake. So I'm just not feeling Tampa Bay in this game. The Cowboys are starving. They're hungry. You're going to see Micah Parsons come out there and be a madman on that field. Give me the Cowboys by 6.
And I forgot to mention the spread is Dallas by 2.5. Mango, what you thinking, man?
I hate both of these teams equally. Man, with that being said, the Cowboys are going to make the Bucs look good. The Cowboys are going to win this game. I agree with Knock. They're not going to win big. It'll probably be 3, maybe a 7-point game. But Cowboys are going to win this. 17-14. It's going to be close, man.
All right, that was short and sweet. Caleb, what you got, man? You look baffled.
Are y'all kidding me? I'm going to be the only one to fight knock on this. The Cowboys are not winning this game. Are you kidding me?
The only way the Cowboys don't win this game is if they do what the Cowboys do and beat themselves. But that Tampa team has looked abysmal. It looks awful.
And the Cowboys
it looks awful. You're going to tell me I'm wrong?
And the Cowboys are in the playoffs.
Right. I gotta side with Caleb on this. We just watched the Cowboys full starters get that ass beat by Washington in Week 18
by 20.
We all just
and Washington's been hot going through the end of the season.
No,
Washington's a damn good football team.
No, listen. Dak Prescott, he throws a lot of darts to the other team. The man was sat out for 5 games, and he still has the most interceptions in this league. The man's got a record on his own. You know he'd have that shit locked up by a landslide. He'd have the Jameis Winston award if he played the whole season.
Listen, okay. Dak Prescott.
Sorry, go ahead, Caleb.
I'm sorry. Dak Prescott against Washington. I get different game, whatever. To end the regular season. 14 of 37, 128 yards. Had a touchdown, 1 interception. Anybody happen to look at what his QBR was? It was 14.8. Listen, are we gonna get the Dak Prescott that just played against Washington, or are we gonna get the Dak Prescott that just steamrolled through Indianapolis? Which one are we going to get? If I knew that I'm gonna get that Indianapolis Dak Prescott, of course I'm gonna pick the Cowboys. But it's the postseason. This is the postseason, and not to impersonate Stephen A here. But what can go wrong will go wrong for the Cowboys, and that's exactly what's going to happen. I have Tampa. This is going to be Tampa by probably 7.
You can believe in Tom Brady all you want. I'm gonna cut you off for just 1 second, PK.
No, you're good.
Just 1 second. Just because Tom Brady has thrown 7 picks in the last 6 weeks alone. You want to talk about somebody throwing the other team the fucking ball? Let's talk about Tom Brady in the last 7 weeks going into the playoffs. Okay. Dallas has a hell of.
I'll work on that while you.
Dallas has a hell of a defense, and Micah Parsons and their entire fucking D-back core is ridiculous. Dallas has proven that through the whole season, man. It's gonna come down to the wire. I will give you that, but Dallas is gonna win this football game. There's no way they don't.
Dallas is gonna win this game. It's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be a combination of running with Pollard and Zeke. They'll both probably have 75-plus yards on the ground, even against Tampa Bay's defense. The passing will be proficient for Dallas. I don't understand what you guys are seeing in Tampa Bay. They're 8-9. They're an 8-9 team. They're under 500 in the playoffs, bruh. Now, if any team was going to lose to an 8-9 team in the playoffs, it'd probably be the Cowboys. But just saying, they're 8-9. All right, give me a break. The Cowboys have won 12 games. You have to give credit where credit is due. If you're a betting man and you've got money on Tampa, I want to see the bet slip.
I want to address something that Marengo just said, because you dug your own hole here, buddy, and I didn't want to have to do this. But you just said that Tom Brady's thrown 6 picks in 7 weeks, and that one, you should have just kept to yourself, because I just did the math while y'all did your rants. Take a wild guess at how many interceptions Dak Prescott has.
I don't give a damn. Weeks. Your point.
Just take
your
a guess.
point.
No, I just want to know. I just want to know
11.
before I get into my actual point. 11. Good job. Congrats. You're right about 2 things. You're right that the Cowboys are going to lose and that Dak threw 11 picks.
Your whole point was that he throws interceptions. My whole point was that Tom Brady has thrown 7 picks in the last 6 weeks. That's not a good look.
Your boy averages 2 picks a week.
It's going to come.
Oh my god. Hold on. All I'm saying is this. We have history to thank for this.
Mm-hmm.
Tampa Bay made Dallas look horrible already this year, and that was week 1, whatever. But let's go ahead and talk about the past. 15 seasons of playoff appearances. Or I'm sorry, no, what is that, 12? out of 15 games, the Cowboys are 4-11 in their last 15 playoff games. Tampa Bay, 13-2? I'm sorry, Tom Brady, not Tampa, Tom Brady. So I'm just saying, Tom Brady made it into the playoffs. It doesn't matter up to this point what happened. They can make it. Jacksonville went to an AFC championship just a handful of years ago. I damn for sure can say that Tom Brady has a chance, especially against the fucking Cowboys. The fucking Cowboys.
They don't have a chance.
On paper, they should.
No, on paper they
should.
shouldn't, and I'm going to tell you why. On paper they shouldn't.
On paper they should, but in real life they don't.
What you're looking at is a history. What you're looking at is a history and a body of work that has happened in the past. Okay? But what you're not looking at is what's happened in the present. What's happening this year. Right now, Tampa
Dak
Bay
Prescott looks bad.
Right now, Tampa Bay scores 18 points a game. That's a fact. Right now, Tampa Bay gives up 21 points a game. That's a fact. Guess what? They're 25th in offensive scoring. Tampa Bay is. What is Dallas? They're 4th in offensive scoring. They're 5th in overall defense. They are a better and more well-rounded team than Tampa Bay is. I don't know what about those numbers are not calculating up to you guys, but that is what the facts state. Again, if you're going to put your money on Tampa, money line, show me the slip. I'll match it. I'm putting mine on Dallas.
Listen, it's the same thing as last year. Last year, Dallas had the number 1 offense and like the number 6 defense, and they didn't do shit in the playoffs. So I'm just going based off of what they do every year. They get everybody hyped up. I don't know if you've been drinking too much. Jerry Jones.
You know what? That's fine. That's fine. You wanna put your money there? I'll put 20 on it. I'll put a crisp $20 bill on it right now. On this game.
I got. Don't worry, mine's not as crispy, but I'll take your crispy. So what I'll tell you is this. Tampa Bay may be averaging 18 points, but they'll average 24 because Dak Prescott averages 6 points for the opposite team every goddamn week. I'm telling you right now, Tampa Bay by, I'll even say by 10. Because it's going to kill the spread. No one's going to see it coming. No one's betting on it. And it's going to happen. I promise. I hold me accountable next week because I'm going to damn for sure do it to you guys.
Thank you.
He just promised that Tampa Bay would win by 10.
I'm not going to say I promise.
And he said, yes, I agree. Both of y'all are in on that. Both of you guys, yeah. PK and Caleb.
When Dallas chokes a late lead, No,
that's not by 10. That's not by 10. When he said by 10, you said, thank you. Like, it's going to be a big ass whooping.
Okay,
so we're holding you guys to that.
You're saying there's no chance. You're saying there's no chance for Tampa, and I disagree.
What's the most points Tampa has scored all season?
Dude, listen, it's a 2 and there's a reason, guys. There is a reason that there is only a 2.5 point spread on this game. Out of every playoff game going on right now, this is the smallest spread out of every single game.
The only reason the Bucs are in the playoffs is because of their fucking division.
Okay.
That's the only reason they're in the playoffs.
They're 8-9, bro. They're 8-9. They only score 18 points a game. They give up 21 points a game. What about that do you guys not understand? They're 8-9. They haven't beat anybody good. The only team they beat this year was the Cowboys, and that was the very first week.
Any given Sunday, and in this case, any given Monday, because if Dak Prescott goes out there and throws 2 fucking interceptions and a pick 6, it's not going to matter. It's any given Sunday. These guys just got mollywopped by Washington. Mollywopped.
Man.
Destroyed.
You're ridiculous.
Destroyed.
Well, you guys just put $20 on
spread.
it.
Vegas understands.
Mango and PK have $20 on it.
$20.
I got a crisp Venmo waiting.
All right. Same.
Yeah.
We'll do it that way.
Man. I can't wait.
Yeah, hold on. Now, are you giving up 10 points? Are you giving up the 10 points?
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting 20 on the money line.
On the money line?
I think Tampa's going to win this game. If they win by 10, you should give me $10 more.
Wow.
Absolutely.
That should go both sides,
on the money line. Yeah. Okay, I'll do both sides.
Yeah, if Dallas wins by 10.
How about this? I'll make you a better
double.
Deal. I'll make you a deal. I will pay you the difference in score either way. That's what we should do.
So 20 plus the difference?
20 plus a difference. If Dallas comes out and spanks them by 24, I'll give you $44.
All right, bet. Yeah, I'll shake your hand on camera. I got you.
Yep. Caleb, I'll offer you the same bet. I got the Cowboys. Feeling so strong, you feeling growly.
Nah, bro, my bench is too low for that right now. No, I'll do the 20. I don't know about the score. I don't know about all that.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh,
no, we'll sit back and watch and see what happens with those guys and with their bet. That'll be interesting for next week.
You know what? We're all four going to be in the group chat talking shit. I already see it.
It's happening. It's happening, man. I'm looking right now. So what? It sounds like we all agreed with most of these games. Let's see. Knock had Seahawks over the Niners, right? Are you putting your money on, like, not actually money, but you're going Seattle? That is who you think, or you think they have a chance?
No, you know what? I'm
just doing a brief recap here.
No, I mean, I think that they have a chance, I'll take San Fran by 1.
Okay, everyone else going San Fran, cool. Mm-hmm. Everybody going Jaguars except for me.
Yep.
Cool. I got Chargers. Who else is rolling Dolphins with me?
You're crazy.
All right.
You're on an island.
I'm saying they ain't gonna lose by 10, but it's cool. I got Giants. Marengo's got Giants. We all got Cincy, and we're split on Cowboys Bucks. I'm excited for this wild card week, guys. I'm super excited. Excited to come back next week and talk about who the Chiefs are going to play. We'll have a good idea. Appreciate all you guys coming back, and thank you to everyone who watches and was patient with us while we were out for December.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You got something?
I do. I have a surprise for you guys.
Oh, shoot.
I have a surprise for you guys, actually. Oh, yes. Nostradamus has saved a surprise for you. I must admit I was wrong about one or two things this year, and one of them being the Jacksonville Jaguars. I think I thought Jacksonville would win 4 games this year, and I couldn't be more wrong because they actually have won their last 5 games after having kind of a rocky start. Look, Jacksonville Jaguars are one of the hottest teams in the league right now. The fact that they went from ashy to classy this season is something that we're going to remember because not only are they going to make the playoffs, I think they're going to make a splash in the playoffs. The young quarterback, Trevor Lawrence, he looks phenomenal. He had over 4,000 yards this year. Travis Etienne, the running back, he was a 1,000-yard running back. They made a trade in the offseason or an offseason acquisition of Christian Kirk from Arizona. He's become a 1,000-yard receiver for them. So they have the core in place. They're making moves. You have a great coach there that's part of the Andy Reid tree, and Doug Peterson, who was able to win a Super Bowl with the Eagles a few years ago. Unfortunately, he was tarnished by having Carson Wentz on the team, and that didn't necessarily work out for him or anyone else that ever coaches him. But now he's back in Jacksonville, picking up Urban Meyer's pieces and making a wonderful meal out of what looked like, maybe a poor roster there. So I'm really happy about those guys. They're doing it on both sides of the ball. They're 10th in overall offense. Their defense is only given up 20 points a game. They're very consistent. So hats off to Doug Peterson. I think he should be a Coach of the Year candidate this year for what he's been able to do with that franchise. And I couldn't be more happy for them. So congratulations, Jacksonville. That's my surprise for the season. Just wanted to share that with you boys.
Nice. Well, shit, since we on the surprise train, thank you, Knock, for saving our favorite segment. Caleb, what you got, man?
This isn't. I don't even know if this is a shock. It was so bad. The college football playoff, or the championship, if you can even call it that, I think there was more. It was terrible. It was a snooze fest. First of all, I'd fallen asleep, and the score at the time was, I believe, 27-7. I woke up towards the end of the game and saw a few text messages and how it was a blowout, and I was like, well, yeah, it kind of was 27-7. It was bad. I go on my ESPN app, and it says 65-7. You cannot call that a championship game whatsoever. If Georgia would have gotten only 1 point for every touchdown they scored, they still would have beaten TCU. They still would have beaten TCU, and that's horrible. They had more touchdowns than TCU had points. That is not a championship game. At least
That's tough when you put it that way.
At least if Bama would have played this game, they wouldn't have got blown out 65-7. They wouldn't have gotten aced like that. That was a horrible game, and man, if somebody would have bet that Georgia would have won 65-7, you are a rich man today.
Dude, you just messed me up. I didn't even think about that. If they would have got 1 point per touchdown, they still would have won. That's fucking terrible.
Dude, like Georgia is very obviously the best team in the country from the get-go. We all knew they were the best team in the country, but damn, like TCU just didn't show up. Dude, no. It was big brother versus little brother, high school varsity versus pee-wee football. It looked bad.
Yeah, TCU didn't show up. I think literally the Kansas Jayhawk football team would have been more competitive in that game.
I'm just glad that I got to watch them Georgia play Ohio State, because that felt like a game.
Yeah.
That was a game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well, the Michigan
in my mind, that was the championship game, and I'm going to try to remember it that way, so I don't get so disappointed, because of course I wanted to see the Big 12 represent a little bit. I don't even like TCU,
right?
Man, you know what's crazy about that game? Did you see when he missed the field goal to end the game? It happened right at midnight, right at New Year's.
Yeah, I was at a bar for New Year's, and like the whole place got crazy.
Yeah, dude, it was wild. It was wild.
Man, yeah, that's terrible, dude. That's pretty bad. I'm still over here like they could have got 1 point touchdown and won that game.
Yeah, they could have.
So sad. That's like the craziest handicap I've ever heard of in my life.
Oh, it was bad.
Rango, what you got, man? What was your surprise to this, like, in
general? I mean, to be honest, man, it really wasn't a surprise to me. More as to everybody else on this damn show for giving me shit all season long. All season long. But you know what? My boys came through. And the Atlanta Falcons beat the Buccaneers. 30-17, put up 30 points. I don't give a damn Tom Brady came out in the first half. I don't give a damn. I just said they were going to win, and Tom Brady played, so they beat Tom Brady too. Fuck with me.
Tom Brady was mad too. He was like, "How
give a
dare
damn.
you guys pull me out of the game?"
He should be.
Hey, I'll give you credit though. You knew your Atlanta, man. You had their standings exact. Like
y'all gave me so much shit. I took a deep dive on Atlanta football.
Well, shit, they might have Lamar Jackson next year, so who knows? We don't see. Man, I've had a really hard time trying to figure out my surprise. I damn near wanted to change it mid-show whenever y'all said that it was impossible for the Dolphins to be competitive against the Bills, but I won't do that. My surprise, I would have to say in general, just New York football. I mean, the fact that the Giants made the playoffs is insane to me. Like, what did I have them going? I think I gave them a 4-13 record on my standings this year. 4-13, 0-6 in the division. I had the Jets 1-16, 0-6 in the division. So to the state of New York, I apologize. I guess technically to the state of Jersey, I apologize. You guys did a lot better than I thought. And my consolation surprise would be that you guys all still thought Tennessee was going to make the playoffs. And
you had Indianapolis at number 1.
I was naming the surprise for you guys. I'm sure you guys were very surprised that Tennessee did not make it. But I told you that every week.
Yeah. But you didn't get the reaction that I got when I told you guys that the Packers weren't going to make the playoffs and that Aaron Rodgers, the MVP, wasn't going to make the playoffs. Y'all all went off of me. As a matter of fact, one of you guys was doing this shit. Covering your face.
Who?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, look at you now.
Over here, look like I'm calling plays with this big ass headset.
You looking like Andy Reid over there.
I don't have any snacks. No, man.
But no, nice surprise though. Seriously, the Giants. Kudos to them. Jets so close. We'll see what happens next year.
Yeah, we'll see. We're going to see when the Giants win against the Vikings. But thank you guys for jumping on here, man. I love when we get the full squad on here. Had an awesome time doing the too early predictions with you guys this season. Congratulations one more time, Knock. This is going to be the last one I give you, so enjoy it while it lasts. And, we'll see what happens next season. Appreciate everybody who's watching and waited the 3 weeks for us to come out with another episode. And we will see you guys next week to talk about who's going to be able to play the Chiefs. Until then, though, you guys have a great weekend.
Peace.